Our U.S. ambassador to South Africa under Donald Trump. Ambassador Lana Marks, it's great to have you on this evening. The South African president denied that white farmers are being slaughtered in South Africa. We think that's a lie. What can you tell us about what's really going on there?
There is a very dire situation which President Donald Trump articulated so brilliantly today, and by giving visuals of the facts, it was incontrovertible. It's a dire problem. It cannot be denied.
The media here, so our own U.S. media, claim that none of this is going on. These are some recent headlines. False claims from the New York Times. ABC also saying false claims. CNN today, a debunked conspiracy theory that white South African farmers are being killed. Take a look at this video and tell me if this looks like a false claim, Ambassador.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yes. South Africa, occupy land. Must never.
Have you ever seen anything like what we witnessed in the Oval Office today?
It was pretty darn shocking and must terrify the wits out of these poor Afrikaans farmers.
What needs to change, in your opinion, in South Africa? 35 years ago, apartheid ended. Now members of the government there are calling for the murder of people who have lived in South Africa for more than 400 years.
When I went there as President Donald Trump's ambassador, biggest honor of my life, in 2019, I said to President Ramaphosa, please do not touch the land laws. President Trump is watching this closely. We want to increase investment with your country. So he did nothing. He didn't touch the land laws at that time. But then I left in 21, and for 4 years, all hell broke loose. And who knows who they thought was going to be in power now. But the thing is that they cannot put land laws like this in place, because if you get the wrong person in power and going forward, there could be an absolute bloodbath. President Trump is being kind in issuing refugee status to people who are in dire straits at the moment. And it could increase and the situation could get a lot worse. President Trump is articulating to South Africa, the situation is off the rails. Get your country back on the rails. Get back on track. I think he's actually being very kind to them. He was incredibly kind and patient to President Ramaphosa in the Oval Office today.
Madam Ambassador, yes or no, and I just ask because I promised the audience, yes or no, are white South African farmers being slaughtered in South Africa at this time?
Yes.
Okay. Ambassador Marks, I hope to have you back on. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for the honor. Thank you.
The spectacle of the week has got to be Trump's use of false narratives to insist that South Africa is perpetrating white genocide. Take a look at part of his meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa.
It has to be responded to. Yeah, sure. Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation?
I don't know.
Seen on the screen.
I don't know.
That is not government policy.
So, a BBC report quickly debunked the burial site claim, saying that what they saw there is a highway. The crosses are long gone. They'd been used to draw attention to high crime rates when a white couple was killed in a robbery 5 years ago. So what was the point of Trump's ambush?
It's a really good question, Alex. It's not clear, other than the fact that the president is continuing to spread what really is false claims that there is this genocide against white farmers. The president of South Africa said there is a crime issue, but that crime issue is impacting people across racial lines, so black people and white people. I also pressed the White House press secretary this week in a White House briefing saying, well, look, why did the president show this unsubstantiated claim that there was this burial? He said thousands of farmers were buried there. She did not answer the question very clearly. Instead, she said she doubled down on the idea that he was trying to show the symbolic nature of this. He also, by the way, Alex, showed a picture that he said was from South Africa proving his point. It actually turns out that that picture was showing the Democratic Republic of Congo, so a completely different country with a completely different issue. I think I'm still very interested to see how this all shakes out, because I've also been talking to people in the South African government who say that this is really, really problematic. And by the way, there are dozens, if not hundreds, really, of African refugees from Uganda, from Congo, also facing violence and real issues that are not being allowed to come to this country because the president shut down the refugee resettlement program, despite the fact that he did let in these 59 white Afrikaners from South Africa, Callie.
Yeah.
Look, I'll just say it like this. I made movies in South Africa. I've been in South Africa. I sent your son
to South Africa.
To talk to people that I know who still live there. There's no white genocide. Okay? There's not a genocide happening. There is crime, as there is all over the world.
Yeah.
But it's not about killing off white people. This is just straight. That was gas.